Not listen to my instinct. Is it rude to ask what was your instinct about?
Ignoring warning signs. Making more of an effort than they are.
I made this mistake too. My ex and me got into a fight and he ended up putting a permanent hole in my skull. I spent 3 weeks in the hospital. When I got out, he apologized and I ended up staying 3 more months. It doesn't get better. The second they hurt you, just run.
Yes.
Trying to be the cool girl. The cool girl speech from Gone Girl perfectly sums this up.
Falling prey to the sunken cost fallacy, delaying breakups because I couldn't let go of my partner's potential. When I say I felt this with my whole chest, I mean my whole chest. I won't make all the effort. They have to do things too. I won't always be the one who visits. I won't always make the food. I won't minimize my kinks. I matter too.
Yes to all of this. I won't do 100% of any of the work. If my partner can't step up and do his equal share of housework, childcare, emotional labor, etc., I'm not staying. Ask my ex-husband how he knows lol.
Not trusting my gut instincts and caring too much about their feelings and not my own.
I conflated love with respect. And now I realize he may have loved me but he did not respect me, and I just can't have love without respect.
Being my partner's therapist when he needed professional help.
Even worse when your actual job is being a therapist.
Ignoring a lack of sexual attraction or chemistry because he's a good person. It's not fair to either person.
Been there, done that, and never again. Why is it the ones I'm sexually attracted to I'm not emotionally, mentally attracted to and vice versa? I'll be single forever. But that's okay.
Not communicating my disappointment when it happened. It's better to tell them when it happens instead of waiting for it to pile up and burst.
Be too much of an open book at the very beginning.
I did this too.
Not putting in any effort for a good man. Mistaking stability for boredom.
Funny. I think my mistake was mistaking boredom for stability.
If somebody starts suffocating me in regards to time spent together, things are done if the attempts of communication about this don't help. It never ends well. People who are not interested in the things I care about. Emotionally unavailable people. People who are trying to prove shit to themselves in regards to dating and sexual activities.
Yes to feeling suffocated and smothered. My ex couldn't understand why I needed time alone.
Slowly he worked on me to get rid of most of my furniture. Theirs was always no room for my stuff. Super sucked when I moved out and took my daughter's crib and 2 dresses. And 1 TV. Have you seen that meme about starting over with 1 mattress on the floor with a TV and phone charger? Yup, that was me and an 7-year-old. And a baby in the crib.
OMG, I could not imagine. I hope you are doing better now.
Having no open communication.
If he hits me once, leave because it will happen again.
I was a bad communicator when I was younger. I let my first marriage get to a bad place because of it. Did some therapy and work and am much better.
Dating a guy just because I didn't want to be alone and not really because I liked him. Doing things I don't want to because it's expected in a relationship. Dating somebody without sorting through my traumas. It's funny, I was so desperate when I was 17 because I was fat and ugly and convinced I'd be alone forever if I didn't get a boyfriend. Broke up with him a year or so later. Now I'm 27 and literally haven't been near a man since. No BFS, hookups, nothing. 17-year-old me was probably right, and I probably will die alone. The difference now is that I'm okay with that.
Honestly, power to you. If you change your mind, that's okay. But people in society need to realize that some people are actually really happy being alone.
Opening up too quickly. In all due respect, you earn it, not just get it. Be less trusting.
Same. The fact that I opened up and shared everything with my last partner is part of why I stayed. I felt he knew me, and still accepted me, and I ended up dismissing so many red flags because of it.
I used to personally put my ex down. He was lazy, never bathed, dirty clothes and dishes all over. Never had an intimate relationship, always sat playing video games and ignoring our daughter. Many would see reason for me to be annoyed, and even with hindsight I feel like he was an absolute disgrace, but putting him down was wrong and disgusting. I've actually experienced criticism from my current partner and it's horrible. He puts me down if I annoy him and it just proves to me over and over how wrong I was doing the same to my ex and I'd never do it again no matter how annoying someone is.
Wow, that is awesome self-awareness.
If a man doesn't have his shit together when you meet him, it's not gonna happen all of a sudden because you are there.
Full score on this.
Treating sex as something that can be a reward or punishment. I think especially because it was common in sitcoms growing up to see interactions like, if you do this chore, task, there'll be a reward for you later, or, birthday sex.
Needing a major reason to break up. There were a lot of little things that added up and I didn't have the vocabulary for it. Small but consistent demonstrations of selfishness, incompetence, weaponized or just regular, thoughtlessness, and poor social skills were the issues in my case. The only reason you need to leave a relationship is that you want to leave the relationship. There doesn't have to be one particular action or red flag from your partner to justify leaving.
I once had a guy get so angry at me for not staying together, despite all the reasons I listed for why I didn't like him, and tell me I gave up too easily and should have wanted to work on the relationship. No, I don't want to work on it 'cause I don't want this relationship.
Putting them first ahead of myself. In the future I am gonna follow the airplane rule. Put your own oxygen mask on first, then the person next to you. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
So true. Disregarding the importance of a healthy sexual relationship.
And the importance of healthy boundaries in a sexual relationship. No one should be pressured to give up those boundaries for someone else's pleasure.
Paying the rent in full because he couldn't afford it. But he could afford to smoke weed and drink every day, so that was a wake-up call.
Did we date the same man? My ex was just like this. One time he bought a ton of smokes and then our rent check bounced because the account was $50 short. I'll never put up with that again.
Believing them when they said, I can change, face with rolling eyes. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Also, I'll never again pursue a man. Each time I did, I ended up carrying the relationship.
I think I learnt this with my first love. I was always the one to text first, call, arrange a date, etc., for 2 years. I think the thing that got me down the most was having to always be the person to initiate a conversation about the things he had done to upset or hurt me.
Pursuing the relationship just because he treated me well and right as he should even though I really wasn't into him. Not again.
This is why I hate it when people say, give him a change. He is such a sweet guy, or, here's another great guy that's being pushed aside by a girl because she's missing a particular feeling. Most of the girls that join this think they're gonna go home with a Brad Pitt, who is confident but not overconfident, who makes breakfast for her, but doesn't expect her to cook for him, who sleeps on the couch, muscly, tall and athletic, but not too athletic. There is always something, literally translated that from a comment I saw today on a dating TV show. Like no man. He isn't her type and that's fine. He might be a great guy, but that doesn't mean that everyone is into him and should date him.
Trying to patch things up after cheating and giving myself part of the blame. Settling for someone who won't contribute either financially or with household chores. Getting too intertwined, where all friends and hobbies are shared friends and all days are spent together. Now I cultivate more alone time or girl time once or twice a week, and actively encourage my new partner to have his own solo, friend, work project time when he needs it or to have occasional short holidays without me without needing to feel guilty.